Finding good guns that won't jam for cheap prices is like asking to go to hell. We went through all that trouble for y'all and made a list of the 5 pretty cheap handguns that will not jam on you. Stay tuned because the price of our last gun will shock you. At number 5, Ruger LCP-2. A better and slightly larger variant of the original LCP is the Ruger LCP-2. Along with a lever-style trigger safety, it also features an upgraded sight system, a slide-release lever, and a last-shot hold-open. Recent years have seen the LCP become available in a 6-shot 380 ACP versions. The Ruger is a great handgun, although some people might find the recoil a little uncomfortable due to its small weight. But then again, one could go on how the original Ruger is one of the greatest revolvers ever. Ruger decided to make the LCP-2's usability better than the original, even though the LCP-2 was designed to have reduced recoil and may have been chambered. In 32 ACP, the magazine could only contain 7 rounds. Without changing the LCP-2's exterior design, the gun's recoil is greatly lessened when using 22 LR chambers, and the magazine can hold 10 rounds. The LCP-2 has a feature called the Ruger Light Rack system that enhances user-friendliness and makes mounting the slide much simpler. A slide is a part that moves back and forth or slides along the top of the frame when a pistol is shot. It serves as the pistol's breech and frequently holds the mechanics for the barrel, ejector, and firing pin, in addition to fastening the sights. Improved slide serrations, a lighter recoil spring, and more noticeable cocking ears at the back of the slide are further features of the Light Rack. It operates without a hitch and is, in all honesty, a weapon that one should always carry with them. The only reason why we chose not to include it on this list is because of its price. While it is probably going to be 10 times better than the rest of the guns on this list, it costs just a tad bit more, with a price tag of $377.99. But if you're willing to pay that extra $20, then you end up with a gun more reliable than anything you can think of. Number 4, Rock Island GI Model 1911. The Rock Island Armory GI 1911 is made in the Philippines and is as basic as a 1911 can get. After fighting Moro tribesmen in the Philippines, the U.S. military came to the conclusion that it needed a stronger pistol than the 38 revolvers it was carrying. To cut a long story short, the 45 ACP cartridge and the M1911 handgun were adopted as a result. The 1911 is the most recognizable firearm in America today. As we previously stated, the Rock Island Armory GI 1911 is the most authentic 1911 you can find. It is a gun that is literally intended to be basic and to resemble the 1911s used in the first 2 World Wars. The Rock Island 1911 GI model is not likely to win any awards for aesthetic beauty, but it is made to serve a purpose, and it is useful. With the exception of the break-in phase, we have shot everything through these handguns, from simple FMJs to golden sabers, and everything worked flawlessly. For a basic 1911, the pricing can't be beat and accuracy is sufficient for a GI model. See, the thing is, buying from online, the gun costs around $430, but if you're buying from anywhere outside the US or in the street, it would cost you only around $300. Heck, in India, the gun only costs $180. But if you're lucky in the US, you could get it for around $350. The Rock Island Armory is the ideal series for you if you prefer old school cool. It keeps things easy without sacrificing safety because it includes all the contemporary safety features that a contemporary firearm ought to have. Number 3, Koenig TP9SA 9mm. One of the reasons the Koenig TP9SA, a polymer-framed striker-fired handgun with a suggested retail price of only $339 and manufactured in Turkey, had received so much media attention is that it appears to be a really well-made firearm. While many first-time gun buyers aim to attain performance and quality on a budget, in practice this is challenging or impossible. The TP9SA appears to be the first reliable full-sized handgun in response to that question. The TP9SA has a number of advantages in addition to its affordable pricing that merit consideration. This features an adjustable backstrap, 18 9mm rounds in premium magazines, and may be the greatest trigger of any striker-fired pistol available, regardless of price. The new Koenig TP9SA in particular, its slide, blends many designs and has a very recognizable appearance. Some have even claimed that it resembles the offspring of a Walther PPQ and a Smith & Wesson M&P. And honestly, I do kind of see it. Being a full-sized pistol, it measures 7.55 inches in total and has a 4.46-inch barrel. It's pretty tall though, having 5.7 inches in height and weighs 28.8 ounces when empty. Although the original TP9 had unattractive sights and an awkward design, we found it to be 100% dependable. The new Koenig TP9 appears to be an entirely different species. It appears to be on par with about every other striker-fired rifle on the market in terms of quality and workmanship, and in my opinion, it looks far better than the original. Something is not necessarily created cheaply just because it is affordable. The Koenig TP9 SA's low price is primarily attributable to Turkey's lower labor expenses than those of the US. Number 2, the Beretta Pico. The Beretta Pico takes the top rank on our list for 3 reasons. First, it is the most aesthetically beautiful handgun available for the budget. Second, it is also one of the most reasonably priced. It was made by one of the most reputable firearms manufacturing companies in the world. And finally, 3, it is capable of firing overpressure ammo, effectively making it the most durable handgun on this list. It's actually one of just 2 380 ACP chambered handguns in existence that comes with a manual that certifies that shooting it is completely safe with plus P380 ACP ammunition. The other is the Car CW380, which is way too expensive to be on our list. Since SAMI has only published normal pressure load data for the 380 ACP and there's currently no specification for overpressure loads, some gunners out there may argue that there is no such thing as a 380 ACP plus P. That would be a strong justification, but it wouldn't eliminate the fact that at least 2 ammunition manufacturers produce plus P rounds for the 380 ACP, Underwood and Buffalo Bore. Additionally, they advise against attempting to fire such rounds from a pistol that isn't designed to handle overpressure loads. You shouldn't have any issues shooting these loads if you have a Beretta Pico, just don't simply go overboard. So how much is the Beretta Pico priced? You may notice that it has an MSRP of just $300 if you visit the manufacturer's website. Even while online gun shops may not have any in stock given their low MSRP, you should be able to locate one selling at your neighborhood gun shop for a few dollars less. Heck, considering how sturdy these small handguns are, you could buy it for $350 and it would still be a really decent price. And at number 1, the Ruger Wrangler. Yeah, another Ruger, but the price of this one will shock you. The Ruger Wrangler is conceivably among the best entry-level revolvers on the market right now. This revolver looks good. It is lighter than most of its rivals because of its small size. This revolver also features a 22 LCR chamber. Shooting it is simple because it is a little cartridge. It's fascinating how little the gun appears to move between shots. It also doesn't recoil much, which ought to appeal to every beginner out there. Ruger employed a single-action Colt design. Naturally, single-action hammer trigger pulls are smooth and light. It makes great accuracy quite simple to achieve, even if the shooter is not very knowledgeable with revolvers. The gun's thin SAA grips allow it to be grasped and handled well by a range of users. It is just one of the many features that make this gun a fantastic option for shooters of all skill levels. The SAA has an easy-to-understand design. Of course, novices don't need to use complicated revolvers. With the utmost ease, the Ruger Wrangler may be shot, cocked, and loaded. Honestly, after ejecting and loading a single cartridge, this revolver reloads a little slowly. This revolver, however, is not intended for use in combat, but that doesn't make it a bad concealed carry. It is a plinker, technically speaking. It can be a weapon in a fight against pests. All things considered, the Ruger Wrangler is a premium option for a beginner revolver. And now it's price time. This gun, which is probably better than the previous 3 depending on the shooter, costs cheaper than all 3 of them. Yep, despite being this good, the gun only costs $280. $280, and that's online. You could get it for much cheaper prices at your local gun store if you're lucky. Then again, the best things come for free, like hitting that subscribe button. Why don't you try it? And knowing the cheapest guns is great and all, but if you want to be a serious shooter, then you have to watch this video where we check out the 7 9mm pistols with 100% accuracy. Alright then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.